Hello and welcome back to another video. So this will be the Legend Tournament Final. On the top we have Cheddar, who has made it here by winning 2-0 against Dragon in round 1 and 2-1 against Hizoka in the semifinals. He is facing off against Anonymous, who won 2-1 against X-Hax in round 1 and 2-1 against Demomzinator in the semifinals. So right off the bat, Cheddar's actually going to place a Magic Archer, getting a little bit of chip on the tower through that Skeleton King. Fisherman will pull that in, and then a Royal Giant right hand lane. Huge push right now from Anonymous. Zap goes down, does not kill Skeleton King. Huge counter push coming in. Royal goes on defense as Ewiz. Ewiz cleans up the Skeleton Kings and Skeletons. That's huge, but this Royal Giant is still chipping away. Fired off another shot. It's at 1500. He's going to fire one more before going down. Tower at 1200 when all is said and done. Anonymous places some Zappies down on defense and should be able to cleanly defend here. So about 1 minute in and 1000 damage lead for Anonymous. Solid start for him. Looking at the decks here, it seems like Cheddar is running classic P.E.K.K.A. Bridge Spam. As I've mentioned before, Cheddar is a multiple top 10,000 ladder player with P.E.K.K.A. Bridge Spam and has pretty much played that deck throughout this entire tournament. So although this matchup is not in his favor, I would still say it is a lot closer than it would be as just a typical two random players with the decks. I would say though, Anonymous has run Royal Giant in general most of this tournament, but Royal Giant Skeleton King actually quite a bit. So I do believe he can provide quite a bit of questions for Cheddar that Cheddar might not be able to answer so easily. Anyhow, that Magic Archer down at the bridge to protect this P.E.K.K.A. Skeleton King popped the ability early but still went down, and the Fisherman pulls in the Royal Ghost, but the Fisherman moved a bit, so actually no King Tower activation there. Quite a bit going on, and the Skeletons that respond actually get a little more chip on that right hand tower, leading now 1100 damage in Anonymous's favor. However, the Fisherman got zapped, so the Bandit took that one out, and a Tombstone had to get pulled out here from Anonymous. So still lead in Anonymous's favor. As the P.E.K.K.A. goes down towards the right hand lane, Anonymous just cycles some Zappies, and places a Skeleton King in the same lane as the P.E.K.K.A. Last push around, Anonymous did pop that Skeleton King ability early and distracted that P.E.K.K.A. a little bit, so I believe he might attempt at the same time. He does do that, but the Royal Giant in the left hand lane is the one doing damage, firing at that left hand tower. Magic Archer, Ewiz, and Royal Ghost all on defense, but are not able to take that out until it gets the tower down to 1700. Fireball goes in on that push. All that's left is the Battle Ram, which pops, and then will be attacked by those Tombstone Skeletons, so not much damage there, and the P.E.K.K.A. and Magic Archer now on the right hand lane for Cheddar. Fisherman on defense will pull that P.E.K.K.A. to center as a log goes down, taking out the Magic Archer and pushing back that Bandit. Magic Archer actually pushed right into the Skeleton King splash, so that gets taken out immediately, and both players are opting for the reset here. Cheddar's calling out that early good game. Lead is in Anonymous's favor here, but it's far from over. Anonymous is opting to play it slow. He does realize he has the Elixir lead, so he just has to build one big final push here to finally put that nail in the coffin. So all that's left of this push is that Fisherman. It's going to pull in the Ewiz as Anonymous goes for the Royal Giant. Battle Ram on the left. It gets logged back. Battle Ram is going to break, so Skeleton King on defense here. That Royal Giant on the right fired one shot before going down. Tower's at 411. Ewiz Bandit on the right. Ewiz gets pulled in, but the Skeleton King right now on the left. Nothing on defense for that. Fisherman was just cycled. However, the Skeleton King still nothing on defense. It pops the ability. All those Skeletons have reached the tower. There's still nothing defending that. That left-hand tower is going to go down. Anonymous wins this game 1-0. And after game number 2, we are going to be moving up 1-0 lead for Anonymous in this series. He is going to need 2 games to close this one out. And he'll be starting us off with a Tombstone. Cheddar with a Bandit and a Cannon card. So with 2 cards played, we can already tell that it is not going to be the classic P.E.K.K.A. Bridge Spam deck that Cheddar usually runs. Anonymous still running 3 out of the 8 cards that we usually see, so he might have the Royal Giant Skeleton King deck once again here. As I keep mentioning, he is very good with that deck, so I don't mind this matchup whatsoever. As we see the Skeleton King, Royal Giant, and Fisherman push coming in. Skeleton King pops the ability, Ewiz Magic Archer on defense. Ewiz gets pulled in, taken out by the Fisherman. Magic Archer chipping away at those Skeletons. E-Barbs go down as well, taking out the Royal Giant. Fisherman pulled itself in. Huge damage on this left-hand tower. Fisherman still smacking away, drops that tower down to 390, but the counter push now for Cheddar. E-Barbs on the left, Magic Archer on the right. Bandit following those E-Barbs. There is a Tombstone on defense as well as a Fisherman. Tombstone gets taken out. Skeletons will be zapped, and then Bandit dashes towards Fisherman. Now Bandit will dash towards the left-hand tower. Rage on that Bandit. That Hunter will take out the Bandit, but not before tower drops to 1800. Magic Archer still firing away at the right-hand tower. Drops that one down to 1350. Lead is in Anonymous's favor as he's got the left-hand tower at 390. However, Cheddar does have more damage distributed between both towers. And as we're looking at Cheddar's deck here, it is a bit of an off-meta bridge spam deck. That is because Cheddar kind of made this little Franken deck himself. At the start of the last balance changes, when Mir got that nice little buff, bringing the levels up +2 instead of just +1, Cheddar decided, hey, let's whip this deck together. He's always been a very good bridge spam archetype player, so he thought, why don't we try this out? Ended up winning quite a few grand challenges with it, and then even got himself an appearance on Clash with Ash where he got to show off how viable this deck really is. And honestly, if there's any deck aside from Classic P.E.K.K.A. Bridge Spam I'd like to see Cheddar play, it would definitely be this one, because it is quite an unconventional deck, but man, Cheddar does play this one really well. So with that all being said, good activation from Anonymous. Pull that Magic Archer in, right chip on the King Tower, but E-Barbs take out that Fisherman in the right. There's now 4 E-Barbs down, 2 on the left, got taken out by the Hunter, but the 2 on the right are supported by this E-Wiz. Skeleton King and Hunter on defense. E-Barbs are able to take out that Skeleton King, which will be huge, no chance for that ability to pop, and the E-Wiz raged up on that right-hand tower. It gets logged back, Bandit dashes towards the tower. We'll take out the tower afterwards, and the Magic Archer will defend the Hunter. So Cheddar has a 1-0 tower lead. Only 73 damage on his left-hand tower. Anonymous with log in his hand will be able to take that one out with a simple spell. However, once we are into a 2-tower game, the lead will be in Cheddar's favor by about 1100 damage. Cheddar's just got the Magic Archer going on the right and the cannon card as well. The log will even up this game 1-0 as we have a Skeleton King alive for Anonymous. Cheddar looking like those cannon cards can get quite a bit of value here. Anonymous having a Lightning on defense, but Lightning actually doesn't help with the E-Barbs. Lightning goes down, only hits 1 E-Barb and that Magic Archer, so the E-Barb will take out the Tombstone. Meanwhile, there's a Skeleton King on Cheddar's King Tower. Not much threat there as he doesn't pop the ability. Cannon card took out that Hunter. Quite a few troops alive for Cheddar. It seems like Cheddar's getting some very good counter push potential here. Places that Magic Archer, chips through the Tombstone, but it's too far away to actually damage that tower, so left tower doesn't take any more damage. Fisherman goes pull the Magic Archer, takes that one out next. Cannon card still alive for Cheddar. It's going to get pulled in from that Fisherman. Cannon card is locked on that tower, fires 2 shots before going down, 4 shots actually, tower's at 1,000 health. Fisherman took that out afterwards. Skeleton King on the right was not able to pop the ability. Fisherman tries pulling in this E-Wiz, gets reset once before doing so. Another Tombstone now down on defense. Cheddar playing it really smart here, just playing some defensive cards in the back. That actually pulls out the Lightning from Anonymous, so a good elixir lead right now from Cheddar. He's still going to play this one slow. Just the cannon cart going towards the back right. That's going to count towards defensive cards for him if Anonymous wants to commit towards that tower, and if not, Cheddar's just going to mirror the cannon cart now going towards the left. So he now has 2 cannon carts down as he goes for the Bandit in the back right. Hunter, Fisherman, and Skeleton King all on defense here. E-Wiz down as well. A good Tombstone placement there for Anonymous, distracts that cannon cart for a little bit. However, the Skeleton King walked back over the bridge, some lightning down there. There's now 2 cannon carts on the left on this Hunter, make that 3 cannon carts down. Royal Giant going down on the right hand lane. E-Bars will be on that. Huge counter push potential from Cheddar. A little bit of flashbacks to the start of this game here. Cannon cart Bandit and the left hand lane, they get lightning, so we have live E-Barbs in the right. E-Wiz placed in the pocket, locked in the tower, allowing that cannon cart to cross the bridge. Cannon cart locks in the tower. Cheddar will take this game 2-1, bringing us to game number 3, tied at 1-1. After Cheddar took game 2 with a 2-1 victory, we are now moving on to game number 3 with both players tied 1-1 in the series. Cheddar is going to start us off with the Bandit, and I'm pretty sure throughout this tournament, that Bandit has had a 100% use rate on Cheddar's side. He really loves that little dashing card. He's going to also place a Battle Ram. That's going to be on the left-hand side. Skeleton King defending on the right. Zappies will be in the middle for Anonymous. Looking like he is running the same deck as last time, or a very similar one to it, possibly being that Skeleton King Royal Giant. Could also be Graveyard. Cheddar, I'm pretty sure, is running Classic P.E.K.K.A. Bridge Spam, a deck we have seen fairly often from him this tournament. But the push actually did a fair bit of damage, dropped that tower on the right to about 2,000, so early lead for Anonymous here. A bit of an elixir lead for Cheddar as he opts for the P.E.K.K.A. in the back right. Anonymous will hit 10 elixir and respond with the Royal Giant right at the bridge on the left hand side. Royal Giant will cross as the Bandit gets placed on defense. Skeleton Horde going in right behind that, and an E-Wiz actually cleans that up. Great value on that E-Wiz. E-Wiz Bandit clean up the Royal Giant on the left as this P.E.K.K.A. wanders on the right. Zappy's on defense. Bandit's going to dash in towards them, take out one, and then we'll work towards taking out the other with help of P.E.K.K.A. 4 troops alive for Cheddar right now as he places that Battle Ram at the bridge. P.E.K.K.A. will help finish off the Skeleton King. Battle Ram locked in the left-hand tower. That left-hand tower is going down. Log will not save it. P.E.K.K.A. swung once on the right-hand tower, twice. Royal Ghost now crossing will also lock on the right-hand tower. Both players even elixir, so that Royal Ghost will just have to be tanked here. Huge lead for Cheddar. Basically a whopping 2 tower advantage. Both of his towers 2,000 damage each, but Anonymous with only one Princess Tower left, sitting at 115. Although this is a very similar matchup to game number 1, the game that Anonymous did win, it is not looking too good for him at the moment. It seems right off the bat there, Cheddar placed that P.E.K.K.A in the back. Anonymous tried to punish that by going Royal Giant at the bridge. The Bandit was able to attack that Royal Giant, getting some counter push potential. And then when Anonymous thought he would place down that Skeleton army to clean up the Bandit, Cheddar just placed the E-Wiz and got massive counter push potential. So there was not nearly enough elixir on Anonymous' side to defend there, but he has quite a bit of elixir now, and he's going in Royal Giant, Skeleton King, and Fisherman. Royal Giant is able to live. Fireball doesn't hit the E-Wiz, but takes out the Magic Archer. Royal Giant fires quite a few shots off, bring that tower down to 1200. However, there are 2 E-Wizes on the counter push. 7 elixir on Anonymous' side to defend here, so a Skeleton Horde and a Mother Witch goes down. The Zap takes out the Skeleton Horde, and then the Mother Witch gets dashed to. Battle Ram, 2 E-Wizes, and a Bandit all coming in here. Not much elixir to defend. The log just gets cycled out here. Cheddar is going to win game number 3, 3-0. Okay, after that very fast and dominant victory from Cheddar in game number 3, he will be moving on to series and tournament points here. Cheddar now just 1 game away from taking down the Legend Tournament and walking away with the Pass Royale prize. Anonymous, on the other side, does have 1 game under his belt, so he needs to win 2 more games here if he wants to come back and win this tournament. However, as we mentioned, last game was a 3-0 defeat for him. A defeat with a matchup that he actually won in game number 1. Sure, it was slightly different, but very similar playstyles. This almost a very similar way. Anonymous won the first game from an overcommitment from Cheddar, and then he lost the 3rd game, an overcommitment from himself. So mistakes on both sides in that matchup, but Anonymous now has to rally back. He has to understand, like, hey, I'm now down series point. I lost a matchup that I feel I should have won. That's going to be a huge mental toll. Meanwhile, the Inferno Dragon will defend this Cannon Cart, but it's getting reset by the E-Wiz. Cannon Cart now crossed the bridge. It is going to lock on the tower. E-Barb's now behind that. Arrows go out. Cannon Cart fired a few shots down. Rage on the E-Barbs. E-Barbs kill the defending Skeleton King really close to the tower. Zappies are forced out. They're going to get melted slowly by the E-Barbs. E-Barb runs towards the tower, gets taken out. However, this E-Wiz still locked on the tower, continually resetting, and as the Bandit rolls up, just gets in front of that E-Wiz. So tower is now targeting the Bandit as the E-Wiz still is chipping away, brings that tower down to 1200 before going down. Right off the bat, we're only a minute and a half in, and about a 1600 damage lead for Cheddar in the right-hand lane. He's not going to stop yet. He's going Cannon Cart right at the bridge, right-hand side. Valk will go down for defense for Anonymous, and it will take out that Cannon Cart. No more damage for Cheddar, but like we mentioned, lead still in his favor. Matchup-wise, it looks like we're going with a kind of a Skeleton King graveyard deck here versus Cheddar's little Franken bridge spam type of deck. And as we mentioned before, this deck isn't exactly a meta deck, the one that Cheddar is running. So in terms of the matchup, it's not exactly a deck that Anonymous would play against very often. Cheddar made this deck himself. He's played it a fair bit, so Cheddar understands the matchups. But when you're playing against this deck, you're not exactly used to seeing Cannon Carts getting mirrored or E-Wizes getting mirrored, basically. It's going to be a whole new concept for Anonymous. He's going to have to learn as he's playing here. So anyhow, E-Wiz will be resetting that Inferno Dragon. Skeleton King placed in the back. Tombstone defends the Bandit, as another Cannon Cart will get cycled for Cheddar, going the left-hand lane. That's going to be being the Skeleton King shortly. Zappies were placed a little bit high here. There's now 2 Cannon Carts down for Cheddar, both of them on the left-hand side, and Anonymous will go for the Zappy, Velk, and Graveyard push in the right. Magic Archer is defending, targeting these skeletons, so that Magic Archer gets Fireball. There's now an E-Wiz down in the middle of the graveyard, attacks the Velk and the skeletons, but that tower gets dropped down to 1500. Big counter push. 2 Cannon Carts, Bandit, and E-Wiz all on the right. Velk goes down. The Bandit dashes right towards it. 2 Cannon Carts now cross the bridge. They have both locked. That tower is going down. 8 seconds left. There's no time for Anonymous to come back here. Cheddar is going to win this game 1-0, taking this series 3-1 and winning the Legend Tournaments.